As we talked about, betrayal is something devastating. And when it happens to you, how do you recover? I have an expert with us, Holly Kenley. Nice to have you on.
Sandy, once again, thank you for having me back. I'm really looking forward to talking about betrayal, believe it or not.
Well, yes, you have to. This is your job. But you have a book, Breaking Through Betrayal. Now, this is the second edition of this, is it?
It is. The first edition came out about 6 years ago, and it did really well. And this time we've added some new material, which I think we're going to talk about in a little bit.
So this thing is always evolving then, I guess. So all kinds of betrayal. Is it a specific issue about betrayal? What is betrayal, Holly?
Okay, this is super important, and I just want to back up a little bit. And about 10 years ago, I became just very, very fascinated with the topic of betrayal. So I did a lot of research, and I was, of course, in my practice seeing clients that had been betrayed. And what I discovered, Sandy, is that regardless of the kind of betrayal, whether it was relational or political or financial or spiritual, whatever it was, when someone said, "I feel betrayed," that there were these commonalities in what they were feeling and why they were feeling that way. So I set out to write and design a recovery program for recovery from any kind of betrayal injury.
Because it hurts, it just stops your life in its tracks for a while. You know, again, betrayal, when you say the word betrayal, you get this feeling like, because it's painful.
It is, I say that it really redefines our lives. And in that, I came up with 3 definitions or explanations, just again, so it could be all-encompassing. An investment into someone or something met with rejection or abandonment. A profound trust that is profoundly violated. And thirdly, a belief that becomes shattered, or a truth that becomes a lie. And so with that, when a person experiences that kind of betrayal, I say, Sandy, that they go through 3 debilitating states of being. And a lot of people are familiar with grief and the stages of grief that you go through when you have a loss. And so I want to kind of just compare it to that. I didn't want to call them stages, but these 3 debilitating states of being, and anyone who's betrayed, according to my research and the work I've done, goes through the state of confusion. They're asking why. Why could this happen? How did this happen to me? They then enter into the state of worthlessness. And this is incredibly painful, because when you think about it, you realize 2 things. What you thought was important or valuable to you wasn't, and someone or something else was more important than you, or what you felt was important to you.
And so it affects your self-worth?
Absolutely, absolutely. People say, or individuals say, "I can't believe he or she would choose that over me, or that they would do this to me. I feel like a zero. I feel I have no worth at all."
Well, and you also mentioned in that, let's say an ideology or something that you believed, and then let's say you find out that it's not correct, and you lose self-esteem there too, because you think, how could I have been so, you know, unaware or dumb, you know, to fall for that? I mean, that it seems odd that that is the same stages that you would go through in any other kind of like an emotional betrayal.
Absolutely, Sandy. I had clients and individuals who've known, you know, the secret comes out in the family, or they believe they held somebody to a certain standard or expectation, and that person fell short of that. Or even DNA evidence that comes back to prove something false that you thought was true. And so all of these are just various kinds of betrayal. And again, those states of being are, I map it out very carefully in the first part of the book. They're very debilitating, with lots of symptoms, lots of manifestations, what we call, and it's so important that an individual work through those 3 states of being, that last one being the state of powerlessness. Because when you're betrayed, you don't feel, first of all, you feel like you've been changed and controlled by your betrayal experience and by your betrayer, which most individuals have, and you feel paralyzed to change that.
Yeah, now what do you do? Now where do you go? Because this thing that was important to you has been gone, as you said, shattered. It's a good word. Now you're a marriage and family therapist. You see this a lot, my guess is. Are there myths about how people can recover from betrayal?
There's so many myths around betrayal, and when I was working in practice, it was so heartbreaking because I see people get stuck in this saying that just give it time. You know, just
Time heals all things.
yeah, you'll learn to trust again. And not that that won't happen, but when we're betrayed, and this is a trap that sometimes people fall into, they want the betrayer, they want someone or something else to make it right for them. And I do want to stress that that's only natural, but when we do that, we are held hostage to our betrayer, and we put our healing on hold. There is work that the individual who is betrayed needs to do.
Okay, so you're it's almost like a codependent situation in that sense, where you feel like you're still holding on to that person or that idea or that because that was your safe island, I suppose, at some point. But then there's healing things. Now, you have like five steps to heal. So how do people get out of this stuckness and start working through it?
This is really important too. I divided the book up into 2 parts. And the first part is breaking through the betrayal, which means they have got to work through those 3 states of being: the chaos of confusion, the well of worthlessness, and the prison walls of powerlessness.
Well, those are strong words in terms of being locked into a
Yes.
situation.
That is this work that has to be done, and this is a recovery book, it's a self-help book, so they have to work through that.
Oh, this is interesting because you are a therapist, and yet
Yes.
this is something that people can take and say, okay, now, oh my gosh, that's me. I recognize me in this situation, and then work through. You know, we're going to take a break, Holly. When we come back, we're going to talk about how to heal from betrayal. Don't go away. We'll be right back with Holly Kenley.